Kanazawa is a city where history comes alive. We started at Oyama Shrine, walked through castle parks and walls built for defense, and ended in one of Japan's most breathtaking gardens. Shrines, castles, and timeless beauty. This is Kanazawa, and we're taking you inside.
All right, this morning we're in Kanazawa, Japan, about to go on a walking tour again.
We like those.
We like the walking tours.
So Kanazawa is known as, it produces gold flakes. 99% of Japan's gold flakes are produced here, and they're used in everything from skincare to pictures and all kinds of home goods, but they also sprinkle it on your ice cream. Apparently it's 24 karat gold that's pounded thinner than human hair, so
Yes.
We might be trying that today.
And it's an ice cream topping, which is...
Yeah, it's weird. But anyway.
Weird. Okay, well, we're going to go give it a try.
All right.
Kanazawa sits on the western coast of Honshu, which is Japan's largest island.
Since we were coming from South Korea, we had to do re-entrance immigration into Japan at this cruise port. As we were not on a ship excursion, we had to collect a number the day before and wait for our group to be called. I estimate our time to be almost 2 hours after arrival, and the ship stated it can take up to 4 to clear, so plan accordingly.
Our guide was hired through Viator by a fellow cruiser. The guide was waiting for us outside the cruise terminal. We walked a short distance and boarded a public bus into town. The cost was approximately 340 yen, and the tap-off, tap-on system worked just fine with a credit card, but the bus did not take our Suica card.
Our first stop was the Oyama Shrine. Founded in 1599 and built on a mountain, Oyama Shrine honors Maeda Toshiya, the first lord of the Kaga domain and a key fixture in Kanazawa's rise as a cultural powerhouse. The shrine was relocated to its central location in 1873, making it more accessible to the public. The main gate, completed in 1875, is a rare fusion of Japanese, Chinese, and European design, a symbol of Kanazawa's openness to global influences. Designed by a Dutch architect, the gate features a third-story stained glass window, which once functioned as a lighthouse. It's now a designated important cultural property of Japan. Inside the main hall of Oyama Shrine, the spirit of Lord Maeda himself is enshrined, a powerful reminder of the clan's enduring presence in Kanazawa. Just next door, in a smaller building, the spirits of his ancestors and family line are honored. Together, these two spaces form a continuum of reverence, one focused on the founder, the other on the lineage that carried his legacy forward. It's a subtle but meaningful arrangement showing how Kanazawa's history is preserved not only in stone and ritual, but in living memory.
So you see this bronze statue. This is the first generation Maeda-san. He came to here from Nagoya. He dominated this country. And when he was young, this statue in the showing off in the war field, he was young, and you see some round shape. This is a defensive because they protect the archery from the behind.
Next, we headed over to Kanazawa Castle Park. It's a little difficult to articulate how beautiful this is because it was such a cloudy day, but these are the newly developed gardens at the castle's front entrance. There are ongoing restoration efforts to recreate the ambiance of the original castle town. It's smaller than other gardens, but it reflects the same principles of harmony and tranquility.
We then proceeded to walk around the garden up a small slope to the entrance of the Kanazawa Castle. Originally built in 1580, Kanazawa Castle became the headquarters for the Kaga domain, ruled by the powerful Maeda family for over 280 years. The castle was destroyed multiple times by fire, with major reconstruction occurring in the late 20th century.
The entrance fee was 320 yen, but if you're over 65 and show ID, you are free. You also need to remove your shoes and put them in a cubby.
Inside the castle, the construction uses wooden joinery techniques that avoid nails. This allows the wood to flex and absorb shock during tremors.
So with paper shape here, touch, fixed. And then it's fixed. And then there is some speed. There is some earthquake. Moving like this. Flexibility.
Okay.
And then fix with this. So all wood made with this style. So if they
Our guide is explaining that unlike modern right angles, Kanazawa's castle walls often feature subtle curves and slants. These irregular angles help deflect projectiles, reduce blind spots, and make it harder for attackers to scale the walls or predict structural weaknesses.
On the second floor, you'll find sama, small, slit-like windows used for surveillance and defense.
The elevated vantage points offer clear views into the moats and ramparts, allowing defenders to monitor enemy movements and prepare countermeasures when necessary. And we are heading down here next.
The castle's stone walls have been restored using the original technique that allowed for flexibility during seismic activity. These walls are built with the interlocking stones and no mortar, allowing them to shift slightly without collapsing, an ancient method that mimics the modern seismic damping. These are boxed shapes entry traps with two gates, one simple, one fortified. Invaders who breached the first gate would be trapped in a narrow space, vulnerable to attack from above and the sides. This wouldn't be the original gate.
That is beautiful.
Built in 1500s.
Our next stop was the Kenroku-en Gardens that were developed by the Maida clan beginning in the 17th century, serving as the private garden of Kanazawa Castle. Its name means Garden of Six Attributes, referring to spaciousness, seclusion, artifice, antiquity, water features, and scenic views, the six classical elements of an ideal landscape garden in Chinese tradition. The garden's centerpiece pond is spanned by elegant bridges that symbolize the connection between nature and human artistry. The reflections of trees and sky in the water create a timeless, tranquil scene. I wish we had a sunnier day to see that. Kenroku-en is designed to showcase beauty year-round. Spring brings cherry blossoms, summer offers lush greenery, autumn paints the garden in fiery reds and golds, and winter features iconic yukitsuri ropes protecting pine trees from heavy snow. They were actually starting to lay these out for installation during our October visit. Here in Kenroku-en, you'll also spot a statue of Yamato Takaru, a legendary prince from Japan's oldest stories. His tale of bravery and loss adds a quiet layer of history to the garden's beauty. And before we headed to our next destination, we took a moment to just enjoy the view of the city from the park's overlook. And our last stop, the Higashi Chaya district. It is Kanazawa's largest and most famous geisha quarter, established in 1820 by the Maida clan. Today it is beautifully preserved. There's traditional wooden tea houses, shops, and restaurants. And it was starting to rain, and the group was all craving udon noodles, and we were just done with noodles at this point. So here's what we had.
Next, we decided it wasn't too far of a walk to get to Kanazawa Station to board the shuttle bus. Google did a nice job of walking us through some residential districts. It was about a 20 to 30 minute walk, and the buses were located behind this train station.
As the ship is 30 minutes away from the city center train station, some type of transportation is necessary. We do have the ship's city map and list of suggested places to visit, and we'll put the link to those documents in the video description if you'd like more detail. We had a fun and educational day in Kanazawa. I will say that the weather turned on us midday and got pretty chilly. A little rain. So while we should have stayed in the tea house district a little longer and got some ice cream, we were freezing. We didn't bring a jacket.
Yeah, we left the jackets on the ship.
Yeah, jackets were on the ship. So anyway, we ended up finding a nice warm place to have pizza while everyone else had their noodles, and of course made our way back. But I would definitely say you could do this port on your own, particularly if your ship has transportation into town, because it's a distance. But the map we will show here And we'll also put it on a Google Drive so you can see once you use the station as your home base, because that's probably where all the buses came in. You could look around and there's samurai houses. There's other things to do in town if you don't want to take a ship excursion. The castle and gardens are close to downtown, but we did take a public bus there. So distance-wise, you'll have to see how comfortable you are with that.
Yeah, and we assume you're watching these because you're planning a trip to Japan. And so we would like it if you could please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that when we do post other videos, we have 4 more Japan series port stops to post yet. So please go ahead and do that. It doesn't cost anything to you.
And lastly, if you have never cruised Holland or you're newer to them, this tips and tricks video might help you out before you actually book with them.
So thanks for watching.